What is up, everybody? MaNa here with your daily StarCraft 2 content. A couple of days ago I played a ladder game versus Serral, and this was supposed to be just, you know, a ladder normal game with a little bit of practice, and I didn't even mean to like record it into a YouTube video, but this game was so cool, so fun that I just had to share it with you, so enjoy watching this. It was just a normal day for me. I queued up to Serral, and I was just, you know, trying to play my game, try to practice a little bit, and I decided to go for Nexus first. And of course Serral is like one of the best players in the world right now, and it's been for such a long time, so I tried to get some kind of early advantage on him, so that's why I'm going for Nexus first. Maybe, you know, get myself a little bit of like an economical advantage or something like that. I noticed he's going for a hatchery first on the low ground, and what I'm trying to do right now is like, okay, I went Nexus first, I need to try something crazy, something fun. And turns out when you're playing versus Serral, you can play fun games as well. And take a look what's gonna happen right now. I'm making a forge after a Nexus first, so this is not your regular cannon rush. I'm waiting for enough minerals to try to block the path right in the natural. Okay, put down the first pylon here. I'm waiting for my money to put pylons here to block the drones from going in, and look what happens. Okay, he's going to block and let the drones go above the pylon. I didn't even realize that this is not blockable, you know? I thought this is like a blocked situation here with the pylon. So I canceled the cannons, and what I'm stuck with is Nexus first with Forge. So this is not a good situation for me. I had no idea that this is going to happen. And I write to him, I didn't know that I can, that the drones can get through the pylon, and so greets me with a mustache. So the game goes on. I'm actually going to move it to my, I think to my perspective for a little bit. So what is my thought process right now is I need to come back somehow into this game, but I kind of like deleted my chances of winning this game already. And I believe that there's no way of me winning this game. So I'll just play for fun, play something extremely greedy, extremely cheesy that will maybe make work, because, you know, Serral is a very honorable man, and I think he knew how to like punish me after this, but maybe he will try to play for a bit of a fun game, because he was streaming that game as well on his own channel. By the way, you can check out his channel, twitch.tv/Serral. He's streaming from time to time. Definitely do check out his stream. He's been streaming more consistently recently. So, okay, what I go for is a cybernetic score and +1, of course, because this is what I need to go for, right? This is the only tech building that I currently have. 3 minutes into the game, so I start +1 attack on the forge. I hope for the best. I'll speed up this process a little because there's nothing going to be happening in this very moment, but I want you guys to see what Serral is going to go for. He, as you can see, he hasn't made a third base as a Zerg player. He's making a 3-minute lair, and I'm going to slow down again. I'm going for a Twilight Cons because I've realized that with Stargate I would likely not go for any kind of harassment, or at least the harassment that would be unsuccessful, because he would already have multiple queens and the Stargate is so delayed, and even if I would go for like a third base kind of situation, it would not be just not successful enough. But Serral in the meantime is going for a 3-minute lair and Nidus Swarm and Infestation Pit, so he's likely going for Swarm Host. Of course, I do not see that. If you take a look at my vision, I see nothing. I don't even have an Adept or anything. I'm playing extremely greedy here. I don't have a cannon, I don't have a battery, anything like that, so I go for Dark Templars. And technically, Dark Templars versus Swarm Host, or like Dark Templar drop versus 2-way Swarm Host, is a very good situation for me, because Archons with War Prisms can really deal with Locus very well, very cost efficiently. But the thing is here that my Dark Templar drop is so late that he gets a Nidus Swarm and Swarm Host before I even can warp in my Dark Templars. But I still don't know about that. My +1 finishes as my Warp Prism is going to finish. And if you take a look at my vision for a moment, so this is what I see. I'm just trying to take a third base, you know, ready to go for Dark Templar drop. All good, yeah, living life, all this nice. I'm just waiting for my gateways to finish so I can warp in the Dark Templars. And I hear a freaking Nidus Swarm before my gateways are even complete. So I'm like, oh my god, this is not very good. And I'm waiting where the Nidus is, because if I pause for a moment here, I don't have vision here in my main base, right? So I thought the Nidus is like maybe like here or somewhere here. So I came back with the Warp Prism immediately. Let's get everyone's vision, but I see the Nidus in here. I still don't have any Dark Templars or anything like that, so it's not a great situation. I see this Queens, I see the Swarm Host, and what I'm trying to do is to warp in Dark Templars and morph them into Archons because that would give me the most cost efficiency. But the Locusts are already here, and if I morph in these Dark Templars into Archons, they will just jump on the Archons and they are going to snipe it. So I'm trying to defend the Locusts with pure DTs. I lose a couple of probes here, and I feel like I'm in a very, very bad situation. But, you know, maybe you can do something with the Dark Templars. What I scouted in the meantime with the Zealot is that the Zerg doesn't have a third base, so Serral is still on 2 bases. And I'm on 2 bases as well as a Protoss. 2 base Protoss versus 2 base Zerg usually is very good for the Protoss. So I'm trying to micro myself as much as possible against the Locust and the Queens. The second wave of Locust didn't really find any damage. And I have a third base on the way. I have +2 on the way, charged. Like, this is not looking that bad for me. The key point is not to take damage from the Locusts here. So I tried to kill the Nidus Swarm, and I tried to macro up behind it, but I see already another set of Locusts on the left side. My third base is kind of forfeited at this point, because he does have another Nidus on the left side. I'm trying to make some Mortals in the meantime, +2 and charge. Again, I'm trying to find the Nidus Swarm with the Archons and the DTs. There we go, there's the Nidus Swarm, there's the Swarm Host. Again, I'm defending the Locust wave very well. I'm not losing the Archons. I sent the DT on the other side of the map to patrol. If we take a little pause, I have a Dark Templar here on this third base, and another Dark Templar here on this third base. So this guy, Serral, is still on 2 bases while I have a third base down. So technically this is a very good situation for me. Even if we look at the worker count, it's 52 to 43. So I'm looking extremely good at this moment, especially since I haven't lost any Archons or anything like that. So I think everything that happened in the early game can be kind of like forfeited already. That it doesn't make much of a difference. In this position, I'm feeling quite confident. But my third base does die to the Locust. I did not protect it well enough. And I'm kind of in an all-in-ish position right now. I feel like I need to go because there's going to be more Swarm Hosts over time, and the Locusts are going to find more and more damage. So I tried to go on the other side of the map with the Archons. And here's where the fun begins as well. Serral has no defense here whatsoever. There come the Roaches, there's no Queen, so I'm dealing a lot of economical damage, even more than the Serral does to me, right? 39 workers to 55. Still no Queens here. The Serral is completely walled off. But there is counterattack happening on my main base. But the Locusts don't deal that much damage, so I'm feeling quite well. I'm trying to snipe the Roach Warren with the Dark Templars. In the meantime, also trying to harass in the main base, Serral. And there is no Overseer. The Overseer just pops out. The DTs did find lots of value in here. But my army is getting kind of destroyed. We can see 72 to 16 army supply. There's a Nidus Swarm in my main base, by the way. And I'm still killing more drones. It's 34 drones to 55. This is all looking very good. There's no Overseer in my main base, so I warp in Dark Templars to defend the Locusts. And in the meantime, I'm also trying to multitask as much as possible to kill even more drones of Serral. Remember, because of the super early forge after the Nexus first, I have +2 attack. So, like, upgrade-wise, I'm doing extremely well. 72 army supply, though, for Serral. And I didn't really kill many Swarm Hosts. I'm kind of stuck with very low probe count myself after the Locust harassment. I do have lots of money though, and I'm not really warping in enough. I'm kind of confused about what to do in this situation because the Swarm Host count is extremely high. How much was it actually? It's 12. At this stage of the game, maybe it's not extremely high, but it is high enough in this position of the game that it does really hurt every time that I launch a couple of Locusts. The game kind of slows down for a little bit. I still don't have my third base down, there's still plenty of Locusts here. But I do kind of force some of them to land, which is nice. I have plenty of DTs and a lot of Immortals. Actually, my army is extremely strong right now. And he just launched a Locust wave, which is a bit unfortunate for me because they do land in my natural and I need to pull my probes away, so I don't really have much mining. And I lose the robotics facility in the meantime because of that. But right now, I feel like I have +2, I have millions of Archons and a couple of Immortals. I immediately sniped the Roach Warren in the previous engagement, so there should not be too many Roaches built from Serral. I think my army can really take on Serral, especially with the micro of the War Prism. I can micro my units back from the Locust, so I try to go all in after that. I'm not really looking forward to play a macro game versus 12 Swarm Hosts with Nidus. So I try to go up the ramp, and here we go. Swarm Hosts come out, I kill the Nidus Swarm, so there will be no more Niduses. The Locust wave launches, so I pull back, wait for them to die, basically, the Locust to die. Serral is chasing me so much with the Roaches, but there's not many of them. The Locusts do land but I get killed almost instantly. They still found a little bit of value, but I really felt I need to go right here, right now, before the locusts are up. I can fight versus the roaches, but I cannot fight with roaches and locusts at the same time. My army is extremely strong, +2 attack, remember still. But there's so many roaches, like good concave from Serral, but my marker with the War Prism is not bad. I try to push forward. I'm feeling it. I can maybe do it. A little bit of micro with the War Prism as well. A bit unfortunate that my Immortals were stuck on like killing the queens. And look at the positioning of Serral. He's microing his roaches backwards very, very well. Look at this. He put all of them here, so my like Immortals and Archons are all stuck killing like Extractors, the queens, and so on. So he's fighting like 30% of my army in here in the natural, where a lot of my army is just like stronger than his, right? There's like only roaches and ravagers. But there's the second wave of locusts, and here's the fun part again. I need to kind of micro back my Archons with the War Prism. That's what I do, but he's also focus firing the Archons with the roaches on the left side. And my army is getting very close to dying, but so is his. I still have +2, but look at the War Prism micro. We're trying our best in here. 44 supply to 100, and I only have 4 units left. The Corson piles on the War Prism, but the War Prism doesn't die, so I get the additional Warpin. There's barely any drones here for Serral. Remember, all these Swarm Hosts are like dead weight. They don't have the Locust Wave open yet, and I'm left with only 3 units, 2 units, and 1 unit only, an Immortal. Remember, I lost the Robotics Facility in the meantime. But I still have some money left, so I'm trying to micro myself as much as possible, warping the Zealots inside the drones. I have +2, so the drones... The drones will die slightly faster, or just like, you know, my units are going to be dealing more damage, not necessarily for the drones faster, because +2 doesn't get you to 2-shot drones, +3 does. So we are here at 64 supply to 35. I'm only left with 1 War Prism. There's no Overseer here, so I warp in Dark Templars. In the meantime, Serral is warping in, not warping, you know, counter-attacking me with the Swarm Host. If you take a look at his vision, he had a Nidus here and a Nidus here. So he could kind of like juggle the Swarm Host, even though he doesn't have a Nidus defensively, he does have it offensively. I go to the main base, the DTs are doing extreme work in here. And it's 16 drones to 29 probes, but my probes are not mining very well. There's constant harassment from the Swarm Host. Serral has basically nothing. He has 2 Ravagers. And I have an Immortal and an Archon. The biggest problem for me, of course, are the Swarm Hosts, which are constantly counter-attacking me on the other side of the map. So how do we continue with this game? What I can do from my side is try to continuously warp in and control my army with the War Prism. There's very little that Serral can do against a War Prism, right? So I'm trying to like maneuver around as much as I can, try to find the Swarm Hosts where they are. I was checking if he has another base maybe making, so I flew in with the War Prism to the south side of the map. And now what Serral does is very, very smart. He doesn't launch all of his Swarm Hosts at the same time, nor does he commit with all the Swarm Hosts on the other side of the map. He just sends a couple of Locusts here and there to make sure that he does have some additional Locusts whenever I fly in again with the War Prism. So I try to micro as much as I can, kill the Locusts. There's only 1 Ravager, a couple of Links, but I still try to defend on the other side of the map. There's so much harassment, so many Locusts on both of my middle lines, and I'm barely mining. But so is Serral, so it's incredibly close. I'm trying to check how much shields do I have with this Archon, because it's important to keep it alive. Because it's like my only splash damage, and it's the only kind of unit that deals a lot of damage while also regenerating shields in the War Prism. The Immortal can regenerate shields as well, but the Immortal is like the biggest splash damage. It also attacks in a splash, right? Like in the area of effect damage. I'm trying to counter as much as I can here. I'm trying to even focus fire the Swarm Host from here and there. I only lost Zealots. And again, we're on very low supply count. I'm trying to micro myself as much as possible. There's barely any mine. There's no queen, so the War Prism is flying around quite freely. I'm long distance mining, but there's still many Swarm Hosts left. There's only 10 Swarm Hosts at this position of the game. It's incredibly hard. Maybe I could have went back with the War Prism and tried to defend, but with 10 Swarm Hosts, I'm not sure if I would be able to defend. I think, let me just pause for a moment, because I do believe he also sniped all of my Nexuses, so I'm not left with like any mining whatsoever. Oh, I'm sorry. Left with anything whatsoever. And I don't have a Dark Shrine as well. So the only thing that I can warp in is Zealots, but I don't even have money. So what I'm left with is basically 1 Immortal, 1 Archon, 1 War Prism, and 3 Zealots. This is all I have currently. And I'm trying to micro myself as much as possible. I'm gonna be revealed in 10 seconds, by the way, so Serral will know that I do not have mining, I do not have any Nexus. And I'm trying my hardest to micro with the Warp Prism to not get touched by the Roaches or the Ravagers. And here I am being revealed. I'm still trying to micro as much as I can with the Warp Prism. This is basically everything that I have. It's very hard to micro in this because his army is actually growing. He has plenty of Ravagers, plenty of Roaches. If we take a look at this, it doesn't look that intimidating if I had like a healthy Archon or a healthy Immortal. I'm trying my last ditch effort here with the Warped Zealots on the other side of the map. I've sniped one of the Ravagers, couple of Roaches, but my army is extremely bruised. Even like a single attack can kill the Archon or the Immortal that is inside the Warp Prism. They're very, very bruised. He's following me with the Roaches, with the Ravagers, but slowly and steadily he's going to create more units. So I'm kind of under the clock. I'm trying my best to snipe any unit from any kind of position. I almost lose the Warp Prism there to the pile, but of course one pile is not enough. Still trying to micro as best as I can, kill one Roach or anything. I still survive with the units. They're extremely low on HP. There's 7 more drones. Only 4 Roaches, a Ravager, and a couple of Swarmhawks. Meanwhile, the Swarmhawks are attacking on the other side of the map, so the base rate, like the time is against me in here. But I need time. I need time to regenerate the shields on the Archon and the Immortal. Still trying to kill even a single drone, even a single Roach. But again, the Swarmhawks are killing my stuff on the other side of the map, so I'm kind of running out of time. Serral only on 1 base, half HP hatchery, but he's protecting and again like following my Warp Prism with 2 Locus at a time. So it's very hard for me to micro against this, right? I need to run away every single time, but every time that he gets himself like additional 10-15 seconds, he has additional Roach, additional links. What I was surprised that he didn't make a Queen extremely early on. He was waiting for a Queen for a very long time. And the Warp Prism is still sharking around as much as I can. I'm trying to make it as fun as possible. Because I knew that Serral was streaming at that time. I even brought probes on the other side of the map. And this is my, I think, last engagement. I think this is when it happens. I'm trying as much as I can. I even lured the Locust away so I could fight with the Archon. It did regenerate some shields, but I lose the Archon in the end and there's nothing else I could do. And Serral wins the game. I thought it was an extremely fun game. I didn't even mean to make a YouTube video out of this game, but because it turned out to be such a fun experience, I just decided to record it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next episode of whatever I upload. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.